Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with my very first layout for my new series with Caddy Miranda, Hannah Lemieux, and Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. And this series is called Mojo-Busters. And today our challenge is to scraplift ourselves. So the layout that I decided to scraplift I made earlier this year in January, and I made it for a challenge through the Victoria Marie Facebook group, and I was on her creative team, or her challenge team, at the beginning of the year, and that layout I made with a mood board. So I will leave a link below to the video that I have for that layout. Okay, so you can see here I have these two photos, and I'm going to use these two photos and this background. Now this collection, I don't remember what it's called. It's from Teresa Collins. Let's see. 9 and Company is what it's called. And this background paper, let me see if I can find the strip of it. This background paper is called Cabana from the 9 and Company, or 9 and Co. collection. And this collection was so pretty. I really loved it. And these pictures are from Thanksgiving 2009. I think it was, or maybe it was 2008. It was 2008, Thanksgiving 2008. And I really liked the colors in this collection. The greens and the yellows just seem to kind of match with the photos because my son is wearing a green shirt. So here you can see that I put down some textures from Shimmer's Paints, and I used a Tim Holtz stencil that I got at Michael's. And the textures that I used was called Gold Mine. Okay, so now here what I'm going to do is I am going to dry the textures, and the only downside to using textures is it takes a while for it to dry. So it probably took about 10 minutes, I think, for it to dry, which really isn't that bad. But I just kind of wanted to get this layout done, so I'm using my heat gun to dry it. And you can see that I'm doing it on the front and then on the back as well to try to prevent the warping of the paper. It works a little bit, but really I need to get some clear gesso. The reason I didn't want to use regular gesso on this page is because regular gesso is white and I didn't want it to color the page. I wanted to be able to see the background. So here you can see I am cutting up a couple different pieces of paper from the collection. I really liked this chevron piece. It was a kind of like a mint green color. And I'm going to put a strip down at the bottom and then one up at the top. And I did kind of cut them at an angle because I really liked the angled look on the Scraplift. I did do an angle on both pieces that I put at the top and the bottom. So here you can see I'm still continuing to use my heat gun to dry the textures. The Shimmer's Paints. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't smudge it or anything. I really, really, really liked this stencil and the texture that it gave to the layout. So now I think it's completely dry, and I'm going to go ahead and glue. I think I'm going to glue down those two pieces of paper. Yeah, so I'm going to pull out my ATG gun and glue both the top and the bottom down. And you can see that I also have those Shimmer's Mists up in the top left hand corner, and there was a green that I just got from Spiegelmom Scraps that I'm super excited about using, and it is called, let's see, Spritz. So it's, I don't know if Spritz is a new, because I've never heard of Spritz from Shimmer's. So they usually have vibes and colorings. So this is a Spritz and it's called Bamboo Leaf. So what I decided to do was use this chevron stencil And I believe I cut that out with my silhouette. And then what I'm going to do is just use, so I sprayed on the scrap piece of paper, and then I put the negative, was it the negative? I don't know. Then I put the other part onto the layout and sprayed it like that. I don't know if that made any sense. So here I'm just doing it in a couple different places on the layout, and I really, really, really like how this background turns out. It's not as mixed media as the other layout that I made, but I still really do like this layout. It kind of was fun to do because lately I haven't been doing a whole lot of mixed media, and so this kind of got me back into using mixed media and out of my comfort zone and just trying to use products that I don't use on a regular basis. So I was super excited to make this layout. Okay, so now here I am going through the 9 & Company 6x6 paper pad, and there was this cute little, I don't know if you would call that chevron, but it was I thought it was cute. I really liked it. I couldn't get it to match up though, and I knew that that would bother me to no end to not have it matching. And so I'm going to kind of scrap the idea of using the 6x6 pad, and I'm going to pull out this piece of paper from the paper collection, the 12x12 papers, and it is gold and very shiny, but that doesn't bother me. I really like it. So I am going to cut down that photo on the right. I decided to cut it down because I didn't really need all of that space. So here I'm just gluing it to the paper, and then I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to leave a pretty big border around the photo. I'm not going to end up leaving that big of a border, but I wanted to make sure that I had enough if I decided that I did want to do a big border or not, or a big mat. Then I had the choice to do it. So here's where I decide, okay, that is too big. I can't leave it like that. So I'm going to cut it down, and that works a lot better. I really like that. Okay, so now here I'm going to put it on my background paper, and I'm going to pull out this orangish polka dot. Sorry, I couldn't think of what it was called. So it's just a cute 6x6 piece of paper, and I'm going to put it to the back on the left-hand side. I also have this cut-apart sheet that's a 12x12, and I saw this green. It's like this really light greenish mint color, and I really, really liked it. So I'm going to cut out this little oval that had a phrase inside of it because I don't really need that, but I wanted to save it. And then I'm going to just glue with some washi tape. I'm going to glue the paper to the photo. I guess I'm not going to do that right now. I'm looking for another piece of paper. So here I'm going through the 6x6 pad again, and I pull out a couple pieces of paper that I like, and I'm going to cut off the branding strip there, which isn't really a branding strip on a 6x6 paper pad. And I'm going to use that white one. I think those are dandelions. I can't remember if they are, and I don't have the layout in front of me. So here is where I pull out my washi tape, and I'm just going to tape this frame to the back of the photo. There just wasn't enough room to use glue, so washi tape was just an easier way to keep the pattern paper together with the photo. Okay, so now here I'm trying to extend this paper bag so that it would be as big as the mat, just a little bit bigger. And then, so I'm going to realize, oh, I have bigger glassine bags. I got these from Spiegel Mom Scraps, but I decided to use the medium size because it just seemed to fit better. So here I'm going to start gluing it down, and this is a huge fiasco because I wanted to still be able to see the textures paint behind the photo, but with where I put the glassine bag, you couldn't really see it anymore. And so I'm going to kind of fuss with this for a while. I might cut it out because it's kind of, I seriously wanted to just throw away these bags and start over because I just wasn't, liking what I came up with. So here I'm going to glue down the photo, and then let's see what I'm going to do. I'm going to realize, okay, I don't really like the placement of the bottom of the bag because you couldn't see the textures. So I folded it up, but I didn't really like the way that looked. So I'm going to rip it all up. Well, in a second here, I'm going to rip it up with the photos and everything. And I'm going to start over. So I pull off the photos and I pull off the pattern paper and then I pull off the envelopes. So this is quite the adventure I'm having here. So I put down that bottom one where I wanted it. And now here I'm going to continue to try to place my photo and then place the glassine bag, and then, it's just, I'm having tons of fun here. Can't you tell? I was being a perfectionist, and I'm not always a perfectionist, but this layout I was being very perfectionistic. Okay, so finally I got it all to work, and I'm happy. So yay! Now, let's see, what am I going to do? I'm going to add a little bit more of this textures down in the bottom left-hand corner, and then I think I'm going to add it one other place besides this. Let's see, where else? Yes, there to the right. I'm going to add a little bit more, and I think that's all, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's not my super favoriteest layout, but it's cute and it's scrapbooked now. So that's always exciting when I can get layouts done and in my albums. Okay, so now I think I'm just kind of cleaning up a little bit. So I apologize about that. This video is a little bit long. I think it took me an hour and 20 minutes to make this layout, which I was like, oh my goodness. So here I am pulling in some alpha stickers and things from my stash. And I find this one, I don't even remember what it's called. I can see if I can find it because I think it's right here next to my desk, maybe. Oh nope, you know what? I know where I put it. Anyway, so I'm thinking I'm going to use this one, and I do actually end up using it, and I really, really, really like how it turns out. Okay, yeah, I can't find it. I don't know what I did with the alpha. So here I am just pulling out my alphas, and the title is going to be Serve Me Up. And now I'm going to start embellishing. And I wasn't quite sure what exactly I wanted to do with this layout. I did get the ephemera pack from this collection, and there was this cute little fox in there and this heart, and there were flowers. So I am going to use these flowers, and there were some words like ephemera pieces with words on them, excuse me. And then this word phrase, so happy and wonderful. And there was a chipboard set. So this is chipboard pieces right there that says happy on it. So I'm just kind of going crazy and moving things around, trying to figure out how I want to do my clusters. I'm just going to have 2 clusters on this layout, one in the top left-hand corner and one in the bottom right-hand corner of those photos. And they pretty much stay this way. I do take off the fox because he really doesn't have like a need to be there. I did like how it looked, but this layout doesn't really have anything to do with foxes. So, and I have a hard time putting random embellishments on my layouts. So I had this sticker that says 4 on it. So I was thinking I was going to use that, but I decided I didn't like it. And then I had this Splendid sticker, but I didn't really like it there either. And so I am just kind of at a loss for what to do here. I had this date sticker, and then I'm going to decide to put that Splendid sticker down there. But it still feels like it's missing something because the fox took up so much space that now that nothing is there, like it feels like it's missing something. So I'm going to kind of fuss around and find another embellishment piece from the ephemera pack to put there in place of the fox. So you can see here, I'm kind of messing with the Our Life word and thinking, okay, maybe I'm going to use that, but I just don't really like it. I mean, it's already got a title. It has Serve Me Up as the title, and then it also has that in the left-hand corner of the photo, it has that happy chipboard piece that I don't really feel like it needs the words I life or Our Life on there as well. So here now, I'm just going to stick down the title. I was going to try to make the title be Serve Me Up, Please. Because it's not like this is my son Jonas when he was about 4. It's not like he just demands, serve me up right now, you know, but so I might go back and in a tile alpha or something, put the words please underneath serve me up. Because serve me up, exclamation mark, just sounds so rude. And my kids are not rude kids at all. Okay, so I found a couple pieces from the sticker sheet and the ephemera pack that I really liked. So I'm going to glue those down there. And I think that's pretty much the end of this layout. I keep everything up in the left-hand corner just as it is. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's the end. I do cut off the bottom of that piece. And then I am going to pull out the sequin mix from Spiegelmom Scraps called A Day in the Woods, and I'm going to put a couple of those around the layout in I think 3 or 4 different places. So I'm going to put 3 of them there by the labels, and then I'm going to put 2 or 3 up in the top left hand corner above the photo, and I'm gluing down these ephemera pieces. And then I lost that happy chipboard piece because I turned it upside down and I could not find it. So, and then I'm like, oh, there it is. So thankfully I found it. So here I'm just putting that down, and then I'm going to put down a couple pieces or a couple sequins in that cluster, and then also in the top right hand corner as well. I'm not too sure what I'm doing here. Kind of cleaning up, I guess, looking at it, trying to figure out if I want to do more. And here I'm going to pull up the edges and kind of make them look a little bit grungy. And then that is the end of this layout. Be sure to go on over to Caddy, Hannah, and Christy's channels. I will leave links below to their videos so that you can find them easily. And make sure to leave a comment so that you can be entered in to win Victoria's mini kit class that she has, because she was so generous to let us give away 1 spot to her class. So hopefully this Mojo series will help you get your mojo back and get you inspired and scrapbooking. I hope you all have a great scrappy weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye!